Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here. Monday edition. Gonna get back into my watch list. Sometimes it's easier doing them by video, so I have a few names I want to watch today. Welcome, guys. It's the 5th of November. Um, just want to remind you guys, come check us out over at stocktraders.net. I have a disclaimer up here. I just want you to look at. Very, very important that all these little ideas that I'm coming up with and things that I'm throwing at you in commentary, it's just for informational purposes, not a solicitation. You guys trade your own plans, as we always say. I'm going to throw a couple thoughts out there regarding the market, writing a couple names, and that's it. Just going with what I'm looking at, as well as obviously everything that's hitting the scanner. So with that said, please read the disclaimer, but understand it's just for you guys for informational purposes. Let me just jump right into it. There's a few names that I'm going to be watching, and I want to just talk generally real quick and try to keep this down to 5 or 6 minutes so you guys get to it and get on with your morning and get ready for the day. I'm going to start off with just going through a couple names that I am watching at. Right now, market's kind of implying it's going to be around a flat open or so, which so this sets me up for both a couple different opportunities. I want to look at ACIA, by the way. So ACIA kind of hit my skin. I'll tell you why. I'll drag it back a little bit, and if you could actually see on the daily here, you could see this a prior level of resistance, and actually matches right up with this monthly pivot. I saw on Friday it kind of, even though it closed on highs, and usually I wouldn't, really look at this with that close, and maybe I'd even look for a long through new highs. I do want to see how it acts. If the market starts to get heavy, I think there's some room for this to come back. So I want to take a look at this morning, see how it acts up in this 44.80, 90 area, as you can see, up into this monthly pivot. So if there's a little strong opening and it pushes there, I might look for a quick fade. I'm not going to jump on the long on it, even though it might do a complete breakout. I think got really extended for an earnings play on Friday. So I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a retrace on this. I'm not looking for it to come all the way back, but a pull back into that 40 to 42 area would set me up for a nice trade. So I'm going to look at ACIA for a potential fade this morning. Let me just move on. Next I want to talk about Spotify. SPOT. I think this morning, I just want to pull it up over here, but they announced some buyback as well, up to $1 billion in stock buybacks. And look, I don't jump on these like it's oh my goodness, it's going to happen today. I get that, but what I am looking at is a couple of things technically on the name. And what I'm watching is a couple areas to trade against. First of all, I had written down a couple numbers. 137.50 was an area which, as you could see, was the lows pretty much from where it kind of held all day on Friday. So I want to see that. And then also, I want to watch for a breakout area. I wrote down 142, which you could kind of see was a level it could not pop through right here. On Friday. So if it wants to clear that level, I think it's already close to that level pre-market this morning. It's up a little bit on this buyback news. I think it could, have a little bit more upside and maybe start heading back up towards that 150 area. So I like this name for a potential long. I'm going to keep it on my radar and kind of see those couple areas on a pullback back into those lows in that 137.50 area for a long, or a push back up into through 142. I know there's a lot of range in the middle. But I kind of think it's a trade at one of those levels for me. I don't really want to get caught in the middle, even though there might be $1 or so here on it, but it's a $100 name, so what's that going to do for me? So anyway, moving on to STX. I do have a comment on STX. And, my thought, there's two areas on this right here. You can see it's kind of a similar play. I kind of think this is heading up towards that 50-day. I'm looking at either off the 43 area I wrote down, which is going to be down where the support was on Friday, as you can see. I'm going to look for a long. It also kind of held that VWAP. That was pretty much a VWAP all day. So I'll look for a morning pull imbalance, or I'm going to look for a clear right here, similar to what I was talking about with Spotify. So I'm looking for a long on that. I think this kind of head up to this 50-day area, which is going to be around 47, as you can see. So that's what I'm looking for Spotify. Lastly, just a quick note on Apple, and I do want to talk about this, and I'm just going to make a couple quick comments on the market. But on Apple, my thought is I'm looking for long opportunities. There were some great trades. I was talking to the room on Friday. I mean, there were just, to me, there's so many obvious trades, and the way I'm going to trade these names, and you trade them how you guys want. But when you have market related, names like this, what I tend to do, let's say the market's going up or whatever, what I'll trade is I'll look for a stock that's weak, making upward trend breaks. So like if it's coming in, I'll look for those trend breaks, from Friday to take the longs on those. It's just easier. So I'll trade them with the market. So here, if it breaks this big downtrend, I'll clear it right here and try to make that $2 or $3. So I try to go along with the market on this. So not sure what the market's going to do today, but I think there's going to be some good setups. Overall, I'm definitely long bias on this. I've been swinging this name for a long, long time. I know a lot of people have. But I'm very much long bias on the name. I understand that they reported some, I think it was slower sales on the XR, but I still think, this just goes back to everything. I remember when I was in the stock when it pulled back to 90 or whatever it was a couple years back, and everybody was, okay, Apple's done, it's over. Listen, this company is in such a ridiculous cash position, and it's not just a buyback idea that they're going to start loading up. It's where the big money is going to go, and the big money is going to come back into the name like this. It's approaching the 200-day, as you can see down here. I think this name is definitely smarter to look for from the upside and a turn. We've had a lot of these conversations, whether it's around a Tesla or one of these other names. Just these aren't names that are going to zero, guys. So I know you could say, well, there's meat on it if it comes down to 160. Listen, the bias is going to be long on these big pullbacks. I promise you that after so many years of doing this. That's what they look for. That's where the money starts coming in, where the funds will start buying in and putting positions back on, even if they're scaling it in. And I think at some point it's going to see a bottom. And I always look to the key numbers. And right now the key numbers for me is you can see this little support area here right where it's at, as well as the 200-day. So I'm going to start looking for a long on Apple as well today. Forget about whether I'm going to swing it or not. I will be playing this from the long side on little trend breaks to the upside, and I do think that Apple's going to find a bottom over the next few days, if not today, depending on what the market's going to do. So with that all being said, guys, be careful with the market. I've been telling guys, and I challenge the guys in the room. I know we're getting up a little bit more in time. It's 6 minutes now, but I've been telling guys in the room, and I'll say this again starting on Monday. Trade the trends. If the market's ripping and up 200-300, stop trying to find tops on stocks. Find the pullbacks, the VWAPs, and stuff like that. That's the way to trade these type of markets. You guys want to look for longevity? Trade the trend. Stop trying to find tops, trying to find bottoms in a weak market. Don't do that. Look for the retraces on a weak market to short into, and look for the retraces on a strong market to long off VWAPs or key levels or support levels. You'll do a lot better for yourself, guys. Remember one thing though, in a weak or a strong market, you need volume on a name to go up, right? Names could fall, a lot easier. So if the volume's not there and you're looking to, grab longs off certain key levels, make sure the volume's there for these things. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Come check us out over at stocktraders.net. I honestly think you got, some of the best traders there. Ricky does an amazing job with his, research that he does and all that he provides you guys. Hopefully you guys keep liking what he's doing and make sure you're staying on it. He's putting out these recaps and everything. Titus is the best trader I've known. I put that out on Friday. I really believe that. Challenge him, guys. If you guys are watching these videos, I encourage you, come in the room and challenge him with some questions. He knows every little, thing about any type of technical setup you want. He's been doing this 25 years, and he knows. You should see. I just challenge you to test him. I don't want to keep going over and over this, but you guys are always looking for new ways and how to trade certain technical indicators. Guess what, guys? Ask. It's the best way to learn. Let's have a great day today, guys. Let's start up Monday strong, disciplined, and I'll see you guys in the room. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.